Hello and welcome, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. Welcome to your week ahead TarotScopes with me, Intuitive Rene. We are doing the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May 2023. I have got two really amazing decks on the table here in front of me. The Oracle deck that I'm going to work with this week is by Denise Lynn and it is called the Sacred Forest Oracle. And the tarot that I'm working with is the Lunar Soul Tarot. So we're going to start with the Oracle. So I'm just going to push the tarot out of the way. Let's give the Oracle a shuffle. And what we're looking for from this deck is a single card that's going to give you basically the theme for the week ahead. So what is the theme, energy, the energetic theme for the week ahead for all Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, please? We're looking at the week of the 22nd to the 28th of May 2023. Okay, we have a card. Let's have a look and see what is the theme for all air signs. We have got the maple spirit and it is generosity. You know how a maple tree, we don't really have maple trees in South Africa, do we? But we have maple tree that makes the most amazing maple syrup, and it is the tree that just keeps giving and giving and giving. So we have got maple spirit for all air signs, and it is the key phrase of generosity. So, you know, I am going to say air signs that you guys generally are Libra, Aquarius and Gemini. You guys are generally very generous by nature. It is something that your air signs do. You like to give, you like to connect, you like to be with all the people, you like to connect all the dots, connect socially, interact with people, but you are also the signs that do like the spirit of generosity. So I think it's going to be quite easy for you this week. I don't see any kind of challenges coming through for you with regards to the theme for the week ahead. But maybe you've been holding back a little bit on your generosity. Maybe there is, you know, another aspect, another area, another part of your life where a little bit of generosity is needed. Let's see what the tarot wants to reflect. So card number one we have is Temperance. I understand. Interesting. Card number two that we have is the Two of Wands. I have to squash them up to make sure they will fit. The Four of Wands is our next card, and our final card to fit into this little gap is the card of the Moon. All right, let's put the tarot aside. Right, so air signs, Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. We have a theme of maple spirit of generosity. The first tarot card that we have that's coming through for you is the card of Temperance. Now, if you have a look at our angel on the Temperance card, he's standing with one foot on the ground and one foot in the water. He's got a little bit of obstacles in his path here, in his way, whereas here there is an easy path and it looks fairly level, it looks fairly simple to get to his destination, whereas there are challenges and obstacles here. In his hand he's holding a golden goblet and a silver goblet, and he's pouring water between the two. We have the rainbows, we have day, we have night. So everywhere we have is opposites, isn't it? We've got busy terrain, open terrain, solid ground, on the water, gold and silver, day and night. So it's all about opposites. And what he's doing is he's finding himself quite balanced, standing in the middle of these two, trying to decide what's the best way to go. Temperance is the card of balance. It is the card that says you have to understand all the things going on around you in order to take advantage, in order to live the life that you need. But it is also about understanding that the clear path isn't always the easy path. Sometimes, you know, choosing the more difficult path may have sweeter rewards. And I say that because, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. Can you see the little bees? Like, this is a snake, right? You can see the big S for a snake, but then look at the bees as well. So the bees are bringing sweetness, they're bringing honey, they're bringing opportunity, but you've got to get through the dangers first. You've got to climb over the rocks, you've got to get past the snake, whereas here there is nothing. It's an easy road, but there is no opportunity along that journey. So it's not always about taking the easy road. It's about weighing up the pros and the cons of hard versus soft, you know, land versus water, day versus night, gold versus silver, you know, all of these kind of things, and trying to find which is ultimately going to be the better one for you. And this is where generosity comes in, because maybe I am going to say again, air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you guys are normally very good at being kind and generous and supportive of other people in what they're doing and how they're doing. But maybe this is saying it's time for you to start looking at your own situation a little bit more carefully and trying to decide what's actually going to be the right thing for you. So it is about being kind and generous, not only to others, but to self as well. Looking at the bigger picture, because generosity can actually come back and bite you a little bit. You know, if you are being too kind and too generous to the people around you, sometimes they take advantage of you. Whereas if we have healthy boundaries, yes, you can still be kind, you can still be generous, but there is that kind of just balancing things out, that we're not in a situation where we're giving more than we should be. Okay, so that's quite interesting. Definitely comes through quite interesting. Our next card that we have is the card of Two of Wands. Now, if we look at our gentleman, he is walking the path. Okay, so he's chosen his path, he's walking his path, he's got his knapsack on his back, and his knapsack is containing and carrying everything that is relevant and important to him. He has arrived at sort of I'm going to call it at the top of a hill, and as he stands from here, he's looking to see, you know, what's ahead of him. He's sort of surveying the land, if I can call it, observing and looking to see what lays ahead of him so that he can be better prepared. He knows, like, you know, at this stage, he's always facing a choice. Life is just full of choices. He can take a choice to continue his journey, or he can say, oh, maybe actually it's not what I thought it was. Let me rather return and go back from where I came from. So the Two of Wands is about pondering a choice, pondering a decision, weighing up your options, which is what we've got happening here. But there comes the generosity again. And I am going to say to you, don't always make your decisions, don't always make your choices based on the needs, wants, and desires of other people. It is so important, air signs, that you actually factor your own needs, wants, and desires into your choices and your decisions so that you have good choices and options that are available to you. All right. The next card we have here for you is the Four of Wands, and I'm loving Four of Wands energy. If we look at Four of Wands, so here we have, I mean, you can see that everybody's got their hands up in the air. The Mayflowers are going, you know, they're singing and dancing around the maypole. It is celebration. It is acknowledgement. It is celebration. It is coming together. You know, whether this is a wedding ceremony or just a family gathering, whatever it is, I can almost hear the music. You know, I can almost hear the singing and the dancing and the music that's going on here. Four of Wands is about making that commitment. So let's just recap. We know, air signs, that you are all generous by nature. I mean, it's a given. You find yourself in a situation this week where you're going to have to make some I don't want to say tough decisions and choices, but you're going to have to make some decisions and choices based on what's right for you. Don't feel bad if you look at what's ahead and you think, oh, you know, not quite what I wanted or not quite what I expected, and that you choose to retreat and go backwards a little bit. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to make choices and decisions that are right for you. And when you do, everybody celebrates, everybody comes together, everybody acknowledges that you've made good choices and decisions. You know, when you keep giving and giving and giving, when you are so super generous with your time, with your energy, with your finances, whatever it may be, when you are so generous, people eventually start taking advantage of you. They start taking it for granted. But when you stop and say, hold a second, what's right for me? Let's look at our choices. Let's look at our options. I know what I want and I'm not going to settle for anything less. Suddenly the whole energy shifts, and that's the message that's coming through for all of you for this week, is we need that energy to shift. We need that energy to shift to I'm going to call it a collective happiness and not an individual happiness. So it's making sure that everybody in your life is happy and not just the others. You need to factor in your own personal happiness. Loving where this is going. All right. And then we have the moon. So let's have a look. The moon is a major arcana card, just as temperance is. The moon, here we have this huge big moon. We have those same mountains that we had in the background there coming through. We have this huge big lobster coming out of the water. We have got a dog, we have a wolf, we've got pillars, and we've got this kind of almost like this pathway. We need to go between the dog and the wolf. All right, we need to go between them, and they are howling and going crazy. We need to go between those two flames, and there is a doorway. I don't know if you're going to see it there. See the doorway? That's our target. That's our end goal, is to get there. But we have to go all of these things. Now, we have got this crustacean, which is something that is hard on the outside, but soft, soft, soft and mushy on the inside, just like all of you. The moon card is about facing your fears. The moon card is about digging deep and realizing that there's a long, hard, difficult road ahead of you. And if you don't start that journey, if you don't start moving through your fears, you're never going to accomplish, you're never going to get there. So air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, this is Spirit sort of saying to you that this week our priorities are shifting. Okay, I'm just going to put it into a nutshell for you. Our priorities are shifting. Things that used to be relevant and important and significant for you maybe are not so anymore. Yes, you will always be generous. You will always be kind. You will always be giving. You will always be all of those things, supportive, factoring everybody else's happiness, etc. But we are realizing this week, you are going to realize that we need to just realign our priorities, okay? And when we realign our priorities to be more self-focused, everybody benefits. But this is a difficult thing for you to face because your biggest fear is that people won't love and accept you. Your biggest fear is that if you stop being so generous, that people will not love you as much as they currently do. And the reality is that is not true. When you become a little bit more focused on finding balance within your own life, within your own self, people will actually love you more. And it won't be so scary. It won't be so daunting. It'll actually be quite simple and easy. So interesting week for you to just shift your perspectives, to shift your reality, and to see how that sits with everybody around you. I would say good luck, but I don't think you need it because I actually think it's going to be easier than you think. It's just a slight adjustment that you need to make. All right, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for your love and support. Wishing you an amazing week ahead with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.